Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Future Considerations, the sports show where we debate things that could have happened if things in sports history went a different way. I'm Julian. I'm sitting alongside my man, Mo Khan. How are you doing, bro?
I am well. Yourself, Jules?
I'm doing very well.
Good,
For this week's episode, let's talk about a monumental moment that took place in Major League Soccer history. David Beckham signing for the Los Angeles Galaxy in 2007.
Can't get enough sports in your life? And be sure to head over to Mojo Travels to see some great ways to satisfy both your soccer and travel obsessions with our list of the top 10 cities football fanatics need to visit. Click the link below.
Yeah, he had his kind of loan spells going from, LA to back to Europe, but he caps off his career in style winning an MLS Cup. But Mo, what if David Beckham decides, you know what, I don't want to go to MLS? What happens in that? And we're going to talk about that today. First question we're going to bring up, would top caliber stars like Didier Drogba, Frank Lampard, and all the like, would they end up going to MLS if David Beckham doesn't show up?
No, I don't think so, because you look at the time when MLS was there, right? They're sort of fledgling in the sense that they weren't in the right direction. They had that kinky sort of rules of the penalty shots after games. One guy owned 4 teams at one point. They were playing in massive stadiums, which were putting teams in the red. So I think at that point, when Beckham came on board, it gave the confidence to the European influx of players to say, look, if Beckham can do it and live a lifestyle where he's not going to be chased by fans every single day, then I think I can go to the U.S. and enjoy myself and play soccer for whatever time I have.
Here's the thing. I think that's a really good point, but I also feel as if the United States has markets like New York. They have markets like Los Angeles, where those are really big, appealing markets to just about everybody, right?
Right.
So I feel even if David Beckham isn't that guy, and I understand he is so marketable and so many people know him beyond the sport of football, where like he transcends his own sport, I still think there's a footballer out there, maybe like a Drogba, maybe like a Thierry Henry, who could have been that trailblazer and would have had no problem making the jump to the United States.
Well, I think also MLS, their deal with Adidas. Beckham is an Adidas guy. That kind of went hand in hand here with what had to happen. I think when he joined the Galaxy, look how many shirts they sold within the moment he signed in LA. And they became a fascination for everybody worldwide. They got more TV contracts, which worked out well for their benefits.
So let's talk about another point here. How successful is Major League Soccer without David Beckham in it?
It's okay. I mean, look, MLS is still far away from being at the top elite of the Premiership and Serie A and Liga and all that stuff. The talent level isn't on par yet, but what Beckham did, though, was bring the talent level within the current rosters up another notch here. But I think it's still a far away with MLS and how that played out. It is what it is, right?
Exactly. And the fact that, there are a lot of U.S.-born players making their trade up in MLS, I think the U.S. players just would have gone on and would have tried to, continue to bolster that brand as best as they could. But I don't know if we talk about MLS as, we talk about the big four sports.
Yeah.
And I think at the point that MLS is in now, people like to attach it as the number 5. I don't know if
at best.
Yeah. But definitely without David Beckham, there's no way they reach number 5.
The amount of population America has, if they were devoted to soccer, they would be a world power. But those handful of guys, the Pulisics and Weahs, they're all playing in Europe, not in MLS, for the reason because the quality of talent is better in Europe.
100%. And we don't have guys like David Beckham trying to make football work in Miami.
We'll see about that.
Yeah, we don't know how that's going to work out.
Exactly.
Let's go to the final one here. Would not joining Major League Soccer affect David Beckham's career in any way, shape, or form?
No, because look, he went to Milan, PSG, to end off his European trail of games here. He could have easily gone to Asia, China, even Qatar, which was paying big money for a lot of guys past their prime. And I think in that retrospect, if he had gone to China, just think about how many more shirts and shoes he would have sold. And look, he's a global icon no matter how you look at it, but at that point, it doesn't change anything in my mind.
I think with David Beckham as a footballer, as a global icon, he's kind of appreciated, he would be appreciated the world over, and maybe in America, a lot of people would just be like, okay, we kind of know who David Beckham is, and that's it. And I think that David Beckham, the fact that he made the jump to Major League Soccer and made it the sport that it is today, and you can look at it, guys like Didier Drogba, when they arrived to Major League Soccer, they cite David Beckham as a huge reason why. David Beckham, I think, missing out on that, I think that would, if it was known that he said, you know what, I don't want to be that person, I personally would just look at it as a big missed opportunity, especially if someone else comes after him and says, you know, I'm going to be that first person for MLS. And if anything, while it would be just a small dent in his career, I think a lot of people would look back and be like, wow, he had a missed opportunity to be that guy for Major League Soccer.
Well, Beckham was a frontier, right? I
Yeah.
don't think anyone who would have come after if he didn't come to MLS would have had the same bang as he did coming in 2007.
That's fair because of the fact that David Beckham, you know, having, you know, his supermodel wife, Victoria Beckham,
Yeah.
and again, the fact that he was just this icon known pretty much the world over. I get that. He has a different personality from like a Thierry Henry, from a Didier Drogba, even a Frank Lampard.
Yeah.
It was just completely a different marketable beast. So I'm sure Major League Soccer is appreciative of the fact that he decided to join Los Angeles Galaxy. Do you think it would have worked for another club?
No.
No
LA was a perfect.
Not even like a Red Bull
stars
club?
aligned. No, it was perfect in LA.
I don't know, man.
Weather, the lifestyle was perfect for David.
That's very true. That's very true. And look at that. We just finished up on
Buzzer
time
beater.
here. Literally a buzzer beater. Nice.
Or at the death of a match.
At the death of a match.
Of soccer,
yes. I
yes.
got that term from you, actually.
There you go. You learn from everybody.
For sure. Mo Khan, thanks so much for doing
Thank
this,
you, sir.
man. For Bo, I'm Julian. Thank you so much for tuning in to another edition of Future Considerations. If you have any more suggestions of different show topics we should talk about, write them down in the comment section below. So long, guys. We'll see you guys next time.